When your cat sleeps with you, do you actually know what they're trying to say? Most people think they do. They're wrong. And the real answer is something most owners never fully sit with. Let's start at the beginning. 1. It was never about staying warm. Most people have a simple answer ready. Cats get cold, you're warm, done. But here's what breaks that theory. Cats find warm spots on their own all the time. The sunny patch on the floor, your laptop, the laundry you just pulled out of the dryer. They know how to stay warm. They've been doing it their whole lives. Researchers studying wildcat groups found something nobody expected. Even in the middle of summer, in direct sunlight, when the last thing any cat needed was more body heat, bonded cats still slept piled on top of each other. They had every reason not to. They did it anyway. That's when scientists realized this was never about temperature. It's about who they consider family. When your cat is the only cat in your home, you become that family. And when they press themselves against you at night, they're doing the same thing they'd do with another cat they completely trusted. They're telling you, you're one of mine. And by the way, if your cat ever suddenly stops sleeping with you, don't brush it off. We'll get into exactly what that means at the end. It's something worth understanding. 2. They're spending the whole night signing your name into their scent. Have you ever noticed your cat pressing their head or cheeks against you right before they finally settle down to sleep? You probably thought they were just being affectionate. They are, but there's something else happening at the same time. Cats have scent glands in their cheeks and along their face. When they rub against you, they leave behind something invisible, a trace that says, "This belongs to me." But that happens in seconds. What happens over a whole night is different. When your cat sleeps pressed against you hour after hour, they slowly mix your scent into theirs. It doesn't wash off easily. It builds up. After enough nights together, you smell like part of their group. Wild cats use shared scent to know who's safe without looking, without making a sound. Your cat is doing the same thing with you. This is also why your cat sniffs you so carefully when you get home from somewhere new. You smell off. Some of that shared scent got replaced while you were out. And that bedtime press against your cheek, that's partly them putting it back. 3. They learned your heartbeat before they learned anything else. Have you ever woken up with your cat lying directly on your chest? It's heavy, a little inconvenient, but somehow it doesn't feel wrong. Here's why your cat ends up there specifically. When kittens are born, they can't see. They can't control their own temperature. For the first several weeks of their life, the only signal that tells them everything is okay is the feeling of a body next to them and a heartbeat under their ear. That's it. That's the whole definition of safe. That response doesn't get erased when they grow up. It just goes quiet and waits. And when they find someone they trust enough to sleep against, it activates again. Think about what that means. Your cat, an animal that spent thousands of years wired to be always alert, always be ready, finally lets everything go when it hears your chest. 4. Their brain wasn't built to love you, but it does anyway. Dogs evolved from wolves, pack animals. They were built from the beginning to bond deeply with other living things, to trust, to attach. That's in their biology. It's what they were made for. Cats evolved from solitary hunters, animals that worked alone, lived alone, and didn't need anyone else. Their biology was built for self-sufficiency, not attachment. So when researchers measured what happens in a cat's brain during time with their owner, the numbers were smaller than with dogs. That was expected. What wasn't expected was this. The response was still there. A cat sitting with you, being close to you, releases bonding chemistry in their brain, not because they were designed for it, despite the fact that they weren't. A separate study found that just 10 minutes of physical contact with a cat measurably lowers stress hormones in the human's body. But here's the part people skip. It lowers stress hormones in the cat too. When your cat sleeps pressed against you all night, their body is getting hours of that. Their nervous system actually calms down. They need that contact to fully rest. That's not clingy. That's their body physically needing you to sleep. Number 5, they changed their entire schedule because of you. Have you noticed your cat seems to wind down when you go to bed and start moving when you get up? You probably assumed that was just how cats were. It's not. That's something your cat chose. Cats are built to be active at dawn and dusk, not during the day, not late at night. Their biology, shaped over thousands of years of evolution, points toward those hours. That's when their instincts switch on. That's when their body wants to move. Your schedule doesn't match that at all. But if you pay attention, your bonded cat's schedule is slowly starting to match yours. Studies tracking domestic cats found that cats who live closely with a human gradually shift their active hours to overlap more with the person. They stay awake longer during the day, they sleep more at night, they start showing up right before your alarm, they're at the door when you get home. Not out of training, out of attention. They studied you, and then they adjusted. Number 6. When they stop, they're telling you something. Remember at the beginning I said that if your cat suddenly stops sleeping with you, it matters? This is that part. If a cat has been sleeping beside you for months and then one day they don't, that's a signal. Cats don't break their own habits for no reason. Something shifted, and it's worth figuring out what. Sometimes it's physical. Older cats especially, when joints start to ache, when something inside them hurts, they pull away, they go quiet, they find a place to deal with it alone. If your older cat suddenly stops wanting contact during sleep, a checkup is worth considering. Sometimes it's something in the environment, a new person, a new animal, a change in the bedroom itself. Cats notice things we don't. What feels insignificant to you might feel unsettling to them. And sometimes it's emotional. Something scared them in that space. Something changed between you. Cats carry those things. They respond to them quietly, in their sleep habits, in their distance. The key is this. Your cat sleeps with you because they chose to. When that changes, they're still communicating, so pay attention, and if you can, help them find their way back. Because that nightly ritual, it was never small to them, and it shouldn't be small to you either.